Hey everybody, it's Judy Klock, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Middletown, Virginia. And today I am coming to you with another Christmas card tutorial. And today we're going to feature the lovely and fun Filled with Cheer stamp set. I literally just got this in yesterday and I couldn't wait to play with it. So today we're going to make two really fun Christmas cards with it. We're going to use a little bit of our blends to color in these images. I think you'll really like it. So let's take a look at the two cards we are going to make today. So again, they're fairly simple. This one, we're going to use a little bit of that Snowy Sky embossing folder. I have a really bad internet connection tonight. I can already tell it's very slow and choppy. But there is the Snowy Sky. It's very hard to see. Maybe on the still pictures, you can see it better. Bring it a little bit closer. And then we've just got some balmy blue, and we've colored in that image, and we've used a little bit of that of Stella to give it that little bit of shimmer and shine. And then we kind of ran just a little bit of a blending brush over there with the balmy blue to just kind of tone down some of that white and give our snowman just a little tiny hint of color. And then we're going to keep it really simple, and we're going excuse me, to do just a very basic white card, because sometimes you don't have a lot of cardstock, but you do have some white. So we're going to go ahead and use our thick basic white and our regular basic white for the layer. And the reason I'm layering it up is because with the blends, it really does bleed through. So you wouldn't want it to bleed through the front of your card. So that's why we put that extra layer on there. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with our balmy blue card. All right, let's go ahead. This is a standard 8.5 by 5.5. I've scored it at 4 1/4. For the inside, I have a piece of our basic white that is just 4 by 5 1/4. And we're just going to go ahead and put that on the inside. I am not stamping on this. I'm just going to leave this blank so I can write my own sentiment on the inside. But if you wanted to stamp a sentiment, I would say stamp it and then stick it in, because if you make a mistake, you can always flip it over. Now for this piece, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use a little liquid glue. And again, this was 5 1/4 by 4, and I ran it through the Snowy Sky 3D embossing folder. So we're going to go ahead and put this on. I find that when I have an embossed piece, it works better with the liquid glue, the multi-purpose liquid glue, because sometimes the Stampin' Seal can actually rip the embossed cardstock. So when I've got embossed pieces, I tend to favor the liquid glue. Again, but it's up to you. You'll learn as you get more into this what adhesives you like for which project. Okay, that's that. Now we're going to stamp. I've got a piece here. This is just 4 by 3. We're going to go ahead and stamp our image using our tuxedo black, Memento tuxedo black. Okay, and just make sure you get those images. This is what they call, or what I call, a line art image, because it's got those lovely lines that you can then color in. All right, so we're going to go ahead and stamp this. I do apologize for the slow internet connection tonight. I don't know why. Let me just check real quick and see. Make sure I'm on the correct one. Let's see, where are we? Yep, we're on 5G. All right. I don't know. It's cloudy tonight. We are on satellite, so that may have something to do with it. So now we're going to take a variety of blends, and we're going to color in our snowman. So I've got the orange here for his carrot nose. Okay, I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm not going to subject you to the whole thing because it will take a long time. But we've got our red here. We're going to color in the band on his hat. You could do that in green if you wanted to. It's up to you. Again, whatever colors you want. I'm going to color his scarf in the real red. I'm using, this is dark. Oh, this is light real red. Okay, so you have, whenever with our blend, you always have two choices. You have light and dark, and you can actually layer them together for like shadows and shading. All right, so if you had colored in the whole image, it would end up looking like this. All right, like I said, I wasn't going to subject you to that. Now, before I add this to our piece of balmy blue, I want to come on here with our blending brush, and I want to just kind of soften that white. It's very stark. So I'm going to take my blending brush, and I'm going to start it off on my scrap paper. Always start it off on your scrap paper. And I'm just going to run circles on my paper, and I'm just going to add just a hint of that blue. Okay, I don't want a lot. Oh, see, I kind of got a big blop there, which I didn't want. But again, it's until you think you have enough and wherever you want it. Okay, so that looks good to me. I kind of just got it. I wanted to soften up that very stark white and kind of add a little bit of color to our snowman. Now I'm going to get ready. I'm going to add this. So my piece of balmy blue is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. So just the teeniest, tiniest bit of blue is going to show through from the behind the white. I didn't want a lot. I just wanted enough to kind of offset that white and not have it just kind of be so glaring against the night of navy. So I thought maybe just having a little bit of that balmy blue would just soften it up. And another good reason to use the multi-purpose liquid glue is it gives you a little extra time. So if I hadn't placed this as pretty straight, I would have had time to sort of wiggle it in place, but we're good. I'm going to put this on with some dimensionals. I'm going to put one in each corner. I'm going to put one in the middle because it's kind of a big piece. One in each corner. Okay, take these off. And then we can just put that on there. Okay, there we go. Now, I want to put a little sentiment up there. So I have a little piece. It's like 3/4 of an inch by 2 inches. We're just going to stamp our sentiment. It's like sending loads of Christmas cheer. Oops. Okay. Can't see if I put it all down there. Okay. Sending loads of Christmas cheer. Hopefully that was on there pretty good. A little crooked, but it'll work. Now, I wanted a little bit of color around the edge. So I'm going to pull my balmy blue back in just for a minute. I'm going to dip my edges right on my ink pad. And that gives just a little tint of color to my edges. All right, now I'm going to put one dimensional on the left end because that's going to hang off of our focal piece, and that's going to have to be on the dimensional to be even with our focal piece. And then I can't believe this internet tonight, of all the nights to not be great. Well, you know, sometimes it happens, right, folks? And there's not a lot we can do with it. We just got to kind of try to make the best of it. All right, we're just going to put that right there. And the last thing I want to do is I want to add some Wink of Stella. Now, here's my tip. Do not ever, ever start your Wink of Stella over your project. The reason being is that sometimes it does come out in like a big blob. And you don't want that big blob all over your beautiful project. So always start it off like in a corner or on a silicone sheet or something so that you don't get that big old mess on your card or your scrapbook page or whatever you're using your Wink of Stella for. But then we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to color in that melted snowman. All right. Right now, is the theme song from Frozen running through your head right now? Do you want to build a snowman? Okay, but how cute is he? Isn't he just the cutest? And that is our first card. So not terribly hard. We just did a lot of steps. We had the coloring and the layering, but that's our first card. Isn't that cute? Fun, pretty, colorful? All right, let's go on to card number 2. So for this one, I kind of wanted to combine the presents with the wagon, and I wanted to add that Christmas tree in there. So what I did was I'm going to take a little bit of masking. So I stamped our wagon first. Keep missing everything. It's right. It's all right here. I just keep losing it. So I stamped our wagon first. And I just want to make sure. I really need to re-ink this pad. Okay, but I think we're good for now. Just kind of put it down there. Okay. I'm going to come in with our 2 wheels. We got the 2 wheels because you got to have wheels on your wagon. Right. This one I might have to put my big fat head in the way to line these up. It's a little tiny bit off, but hopefully it will be okay. Okay. Now I'm going to take, you can use masking paper. I find I have these little, 3x3, 3, sticky pads. And I'm just going to put that at the very top edge of my wagon. And I'm going to come in with my presents and I think that's a poinsettia plant. Okay. All right. And we're going to stamp this kind of right there. All right. Now we're not going to take that off yet. Okay. So there we go. We've got that. Now I need to really clean this stamp really well because I just want to get that Christmas tree in there. I'm going to do a couple of things. Okay, so the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to mask out some of my items on here that I don't want. Like I don't want the sled and I don't want the snowman. I just want the upper part of that tree. Okay. So now I'm going to take my ink pad and apply my ink. Got to make sure I get that tree really nicely inked. Okay. Now, got to take these off. Take them off. Okay. And I'm going to put new ones on there because I found that even though I thought I cleaned it really well, I really didn't clean it that well. And I got some smudges on my other one, which you'll see in just a minute. Okay, now we're going to take this tree. Wah, don't drop it. And I want to angle it kind of right here. Okay. I'll just do one more thing. Let me just put another kind of one right there. Okay, cover up those presents. And we'll come back over here. We'll just kind of cover up that. Okay, just to be sure. Just be on the safe side. Okay. And I'm just going to put that down. Make sure I press it really kind of hard. Okay, and when we take off all of our masks, look at that. We've got our presents, our poinsettia, and our tree in our wagon. Can you see that? Okay, and then we'd come in and we do the same thing that we've done with the other one. We would go ahead and start coloring our image. So I have my pecan pie here for the wagon. Right? We'd color the wheels in our basic black. I'd color these straps in smoky slate. The presents I'd alternate between like red, green, yellow, blue. Just some really pretty ribbons and paper. Of course, the tree would be green and red with the yellow star, and the poinsettia is green and red. And I think I had some copper clay when you can see just a little bit of the pot that those presents, that the poinsettias are in. And then when you're all done, it's going to look like this. You see what happened? I didn't mask and I got just a teeny tiny bit of shadow. Even though I thought I had like cleaned it really well, obviously I didn't clean it that well. We're just going to add a little sentiment down here. I'm just going to stamp a warm hello. Okay, and these are all available. These stamp sets and all this other stuff is available on my Stampin' Up! Store, which if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. And just registration's open for my November workshop. We're going to be making gift cards. So we're going to be using the Greetings of the Season stamp set. And we're going to be creating 8 gift cards, 2 each of 4 designs. And then in December, I always do my free class, my customer appreciation class, and I do fun folds, my favorite fun folds from the year. So that will be opening soon for registration. So I hope you'll join us for some of these classes. They're a lot of fun. I do them either virtually. You can join me on the 3rd Friday of every month virtually, or you can join me in my studio the following Monday. If you're local to the Winchester, Virginia area, I would love to have you come by and stamp with me. Okay. And now we're going to go ahead and add this. And again, if you wanted to add bling or add some Wink of Stella, you could do whatever you wanted to do. But these are the 2 cards for tonight. I will put up a blog post that hopefully will have some better pictures. I know the Wi-Fi was really spotty tonight. I do apologize. I don't know why, because it is showing me that it's on my 5G, but I guess sometimes it just happens. That's it for me, folks. Have a great evening. I will be back next week with another Christmas card tutorial. Happy stamping.